Enela bamu, mwezemu bamu, gumba bamu, rao koeli, na emuko wale. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, learners. Today we want to give you a re-emphasis on the manner in which we use the vowels and the consonants. We begin first of all with the vowels. The vowels, the Mokpe Alphabet, the vowels, Miulu, Mewawi. And in the Miulu, Mewawi, we have 7 of them in number. They are A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. Those are the vowels in the Mokpe alphabet. Now, we'll go a step further. The step further will give us the familiar vowels, which in Mokpe are called Miulu, Me, Wawi, Ema, Me, Viene. Listen to that again. Familiar vowels. Miulu, Me, Wawi, Ema, Me, Viene. That is what we call familiar vowels. Listen to it again. Familiar vowels. Miulu, Me, Wawi, Ema, Me, Viene. I'm sure you've been able to catch up with that. Alright, so they are, how many of them in number? 5. They are A, E, I, O, U. The same as you have them in the English alphabet. Those ones are the ones we consider as a familiar vowels. Now, there are both the familiar and unfamiliar. So let us now go to the unfamiliar vowels. There are 2 of them in number. Unfamiliar vowels. These ones in Mokpe are called Miulu, Me, Wawi, Ema, Me, Sha, Viene. Miulu, Me, Wawi, Ema, Me, Sha, Viene. Unfamiliar vowels. Miulu, Me, Wawi, Ema, Me, Sha, Viene. And there are 2 of them in number. O. Those are our unfamiliar vowels. We call them unfamiliar because in the English alphabet we don't have them at all. That's why we call them unfamiliar vowels. But these ones are all familiar vowels and we all know them even from the English language. Thank you very much for following me up. We are now going to turn the page and go over to the consonants and study them very quietly and see how it goes. So just give me a few minutes and I will be there with you. Okay, here we go. The Mokpe alphabet. We have consonants which we call Miulu, Me, Utu. In the spoken language we call them Miulu, Miutu, which means there is a liaison somewhere here. But in written we say Miulu, Miutu. And in the long term you can say Miulu, Ema, Miutu. It can also go. So we have 17 of them in number, or 19 of them I should say, in number. There are 19 of them, not 17. So they are B, Ch, D, B, H, J, k, b, l, m, n, ng, p, z, t, w, y. Those are our Mokpe alphabet consonants, which we call in Bakri Mulu, Mutu. If you care, you can call it Mulu, Ema, Mutu. Then in these, they are also divided into two: the familiar consonants and the unfamiliar consonants. So we are going to begin with the familiar consonants. The familiar consonants in the Mokpe language are called Mulu, Mutu, Ema, Neviene, Mulu, Mutu, Ema, Neviene, and these ones are B, D, J, K, O, M, N, P, T, W, Y. Those are the familiar consonants. Why do we call them the familiar consonants? We call them familiar consonants because in our ABC in the English language in primary school, we are all familiar with this. Now let us go to the unfamiliar consonants. The unfamiliar consonants in Bakwe, we call them Mulu, Mutu, Ema, Mejaviene, Mulu, Mutu, Ema, Mejaviene. And there we have Ch, B, H, L, B, Ng, and Z. Listen to them again. Ch, B, H, L, B, Ng, Z. Those are our unfamiliar consonants. We call them unfamiliar consonants because in the English alphabet we do not have them, we have not seen them anywhere. Even to those of you who study French language, you could hardly see consonants like this. They may apply in some other languages, but they are not. That's why we call them unfamiliar consonants. And in Mokpe we call them Mulu, Mutu, Ema, Mejaviene. So we want to say thank you for following us up. This is the way in which we end our lesson for today. After this, we are now going to try to build you up with some of the pronunciations that are commensurate with these consonants and vowels.